Missouri is inching closer to having legal sports betting up and running. Companies wanting in on the game have a deadline today, and any Missourians wanting to give their opinion have until later this week. WGEM's Missouri Capitol Bureau reporter Hannah Falcon breaks down what's next as the state prepares to launch sports betting.
Let's take a look at the timeline the Missouri Gaming Commission is set to get sports betting up and running here in Missouri. First, today is the last day for companies to submit applications for an independent gaming license. Tomorrow is the last day you can submit online public comment to have your voice heard ahead of a public meeting here in Jefferson City later this week. Next month, we expect the first licenses to be officially awarded, and then the official start date for sports betting on December 1st, just in time for the NFL playoffs. Earlier today, I spoke with an industry expert about the companies trying to bring sports betting here to Missouri.
We have two pretty heavy favorites to get the first two licenses, which has been since the beginning, which is DraftKings and FanDuel.
Why are DraftKings and FanDuel expected to be the favorites here?
Those are the two biggest sports books across the country. They are already live in about 24 other states, and they had spent most of the money to get this ballot measure approved, which was very narrowly approved back in November.
Is this a competitive pool of applicants?
So not necessarily. For the two licenses that DraftKings and FanDuel are applying for, that is competitive.
The two companies that do get these licenses will host online sports betting. Other licenses will only be given if they partner with a team or casino.
Otherwise, it's pretty much just strike a deal. There are, 13 casinos in the state. There are 6 professional sports teams. We're already seeing some of these deals being announced.
Some other companies the Missouri Gaming Commission tells me applied for those two different licenses include Underdog, Catalyst, GeoComply, and GLI. I did reach out to several of the companies who are applying for licenses here in Missouri, but they didn't want to comment until the state makes its decision. Reporting in Jefferson City, I'm Hannah Falcon.
Thank you, Hannah. Meanwhile, the state of Missouri wants to hear from you about sports betting. You can send in your comments online through the end of the day tomorrow or attend a public meeting Thursday morning in Jefferson City. And you can find contact information on our website at WGEM.com.